Hello students, I'm Muhammad Shaheen. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. If you need to find video lectures about English grammar and literature of all grades, you must visit Online Teaching Lab. Watch and like the videos and click on the bell icon to subscribe the channel so as to get more and more relevant videos. Thank you. In this video, our topic is stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Taken from class 9 textbook FBISE. It's a poem written by Robert Lee Frost. Now keep in mind the learning objectives of the video. After watching the video, the students must be able to paraphrase the poem, explain the poem in their own words, answer the questions given at the end, attempt all other exercises. Now the first thing is to learn about the poet. That's Robert Lee Frost. Robert Lee Frost was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic works. On 22nd July 1961, Frost was named Poet Laureate of Vermont. His best poems are The Gift Outright, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Birches, Mending Wall, The Road Not Taken, and Nothing Gold Can Stay. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Words' meanings. There are certain words which have been taken from this poem. For example, woods. Woods means the trees and other plants in a large, densely wooded area, a kind of forest. Village, a community of people smaller than a town. Queer, beyond or deviating from the usual or expected. Frozen, turned into ice. Harness, an arrangement of leather straps fitted to a draft animal. Mistake, a wrong action attributable to bad judgment or inattention. Flake, a crystal of snow, lovely, appealing to the emotions as well as eyes. Promise, a verbal commitment, agreeing to do something in the future. The general summary of the poem. After a long travel, the poet stops by a forest. He wonders as to whom these woods belong. He realizes that the owner of the woods lives in a village. He thinks that the owner will not be able to see him stopping by his woods, where he stands to watch the beauty of the snow-covered trees. The poet feels that the horse would think it very strange to stop near the woods where he has never been before. He is actually standing between the woods and a frozen lake. The time is the darkest evening of the year. The horse indicates that the poet has made a mistake by shaking its harness bells. The poet feels that the woods are lovely, dark and deep. He suddenly realizes that he has worldly responsibilities and obligations which do not allow him to stay near the woods for a long time. Now the summary of the poem with underlying meaning, with deep meaning. On a dark winter evening, the narrator stops his horse to watch the snow falling in the woods. At first, he worries that the owner of the property will be upset by his presence. But then he remembers that the owner lives in a town and he is free to enjoy the beauty of the falling snow. The little horse is confused by the master's behavior and thinks it pretty strange to be stopping in the middle of nowhere. There is no one in sight, so the horse shakes his harness bells in impatience. It is the darkest evening of the year. There is no sound except the harness bells of the horse and the racing wind in the snow-laden trees. The woods filled up with snow and the frozen lake give a chilling cold. One could feel a wave of icy wind passing by one's body while reading through this poem. Frost's decision to repeat the final line could be read in several ways. On the one hand, it repeats the idea that the horse rider has responsibilities which he is reluctant to fulfill. The repetition serves as a reminder to the speaker, as if he would ultimately decide to stay in the woods unless he forces himself to remember his responsibilities. On the other hand, the repeated line could be a signal that the narrator is slowly falling asleep. Within this interpretation, the poem could end with the speaker's death. Stanza-wise paraphrasing. Stanza 1. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Now its paraphrasing is, the speaker thinks about who owns the woods that he is passing through, and is fairly sure of knowing the landowner. However, the owner's home is far away in the village, and thus he is physically incapable of seeing the speaker pause to watch the snow fall in the forest. Stanza 2. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. We can paraphrase this stanza like this. The location is remote with no farmhouses nearby. The weather is cold and it was the darkest evening of the year. According to the speaker of the poem, the horse probably thinks it odd that his master has stopped between the woods and the frozen lake on a darkest evening. They should ideally move from there as soon as possible. Stanza 3. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. We can paraphrase. The horse is wearing a harness bell in his neck. It gives a shake to the bells attached to its neck, as if to ask whether there was any mistake. He basically wants to signal his owner to move forward. The only sounds heard other than the jingling of the bells were the sounds of mild wind and the falling of the soft and fluffy snowflakes. Stanza 4. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Its paraphrasing is, the speaker finds the woods very beautiful, and he would like to absorb the beauty of such a wonderful scene. He ponders over life and nature, but one must maintain balance between the world of reality and imagination. Therefore, he decides to move on because he has to fulfill obligations and responsibilities. This shows that he is a dutiful person who knows how to fulfill his responsibilities. Now we will discuss the questions which have been given at the end of the lesson. Question number 1. Who is the speaker in the poem? 2. Whom does the speaker refer to in the first stanza of the poem? 3. Why does the speaker stop on the darkest evening of the year? 4. Why does the horse impatiently await the next move of his master? 5. The speaker in the poem is captivated by the beauty of nature. Why doesn't he stop for long to enjoy nature's beauty? So the questions, answers have been given in the coming slides. Question number 1. Who is the speaker in the poem? Answer. The horse rider is actually the poet who speaks in the poem. He uses the first person pronoun I for himself. Question number 2. Whom does the speaker refer to in the first stanza of the poem? Answer. In the first stanza of the poem, the speaker refers to the owner of the woods. He is not present at the moment. He lives in a village far away. Question number 3. Why does the speaker stop on the darkest evening of the year? Answer. The speaker stops at this place because he wants to observe the beauty of nature. He gets attracted towards the beauty and the snowfall in the woods. He wants to enjoy the calmness of the environment and the dark, deep, lovely woods. The beautiful sights of nature make him forgetful of his duties and obligations. Question number 4. Why does the horse impatiently await the next move of his master? Answer. The horse impatiently awaits the next move of his master because they have to travel a long distance to reach their destination. Question 5. The speaker in the poem is captivated by the beauty of nature. Why doesn't he stop for long to enjoy nature's beauty? Answer. The speaker in the poem is captivated by the beauty of nature, but he cannot stop to enjoy the beauties of nature because he has to fulfill some obligations and responsibilities. Dear students, this is enough for today. The next video would be about the other exercises given at the end of this poem. Thank you very much for your passive listening and patience.